Greetings, geeks, and welcome to episode 442 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I am here today with two of the finest geeks that you're ever going to meet that are willing to pretend they're in low Earth orbit for 30 minutes on a weekday. We got Chris DeBona.
Hi, everybody.
We got
I'm
Robert.
willing to pretend.
Hey.
The title of the episode is "I Can't Share My Feelings." Chris will talk over them. It's in the line.
That's rough. I've been trying here. Let me turn on my lighting so I can look even better.
Just so you know, I had nothing to do with it. That's all Rob's idea.
It's all me, man.
Clearly, Rob's a mean person.
I am kind of mean. How much snow do you got, Rob?
What's that?
How much snow do you have over there? Because it is just dumping on me.
Oh, yeah. It's. We probably have about 3 inches right now. We're supposed to get another 2 by 1 o'clock.
I have to go to a doctor's appointment in like an hour and a half, and I'm like, am I going to cancel that?
I mean, I'm definitely snowed in, but who can tell at this point?
Right. Awesome. I'm super excited about all of this. All right, so the only exciting thing that has happened in the 24 hours since we last met was the J.J. Abrams story about the HBO series is that he got greenlit. Most significant of which, for the context of our little familial group, is that he gets to do a DC Dark Universe HBO show.
I'm sorry. So, have you read the article?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's written by an idiot. Like, it starts with like what looks like news, but it's not clear if it is news. And then, as you get to the end of the article, it starts talking about like Doom Patrol and stuff being available on HBO Max, but not CW. And I'm like, wait, what is this? You should have called it the DC wrap up, not the JJ Abrams has a new thing to poop on, article. It's so weird. It's just so weird.
I mean, he is getting a Shining TV show, which
right? Is that a good thing? I was never like you were the Shining guy. How do you feel about that, Rob? How do you feel about JJ Abrams deciding that maybe the Shinnin needs to be fixed?
I mean, this is more. I actually think this becomes a Rob thing because Rob reads the books.
Right.
I do. I guess it depends on exactly when in the Shining timeline this story is supposed to take place. Is it about how the Overlook became the Overlook? Is it about the years between Dr. Sleep in the Shining? Or is it about the world after Dr. Sleep? I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like, there's a whole thing in here, like half a sentence. Others include an Aquaman animated miniseries with Greg Berlanti executive producing 2 others, an untitled Green Lantern series, and a series adaptation of Strange Adventures. And I'm like, that seems like a big deal. Why would they only give that half a sentence? Anyway, I'm outraged. That's all I want to say.
Good. Shake your fist at the internet.
And the Justice League Dark News. I thought Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol were the 2 standouts from the whole DC universe so far. Swamp Thing was very close to the Moore storyline, which takes place with that whole Dark Universe or Dark Justice League storyline, so I thought that was great and was looking forward to Constantine coming back and those sorts of folks. But again, they don't have any information. They don't say. They just say
of those things, though. This is
well, from what I can read, they just list who was in the Dark Universe, like what characters were in those storylines. Like
you
Deadman and stuff, and no other information. Just like, oh, in the comic books, this is who were main characters in the dark storylines. And
did you know that the star of Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen was Jimmy Olsen? Guess what? There's a TV show with Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, and I bet Jimmy Olsen is going to be in it.
He should just link. Whoever is writing this article should have just written to the link to the Wikipedia page, said, "Go read this, then come back turns out Berlanti's gonna do season 2 of Green Lantern. I don't know.
I don't
Sigh.
understand. Like, I mean, I don't know. It does not make me happy to see Berlanti on that.
Really?
But I mean, the CW shows are all just like a whole bunch of meh, and I'd like to see somebody else like creatively tackle it.
I don't know. I think he is a little overextended, but I still really like the stuff he does. You know,
I
it's
mean,
like
he's executive producing Doom Patrol too, but I mean, it's
yeah.
I feel like he's like he's maybe the Kevin Feige sort of position of their CW. Like whether he's involved or not, his name is going to be in the credits. And I mean, the whole point of this story was JJ Abrams signed a big deal with HBO a while ago. Here's the 6 pieces of IP that he's going to do what he did for Star Wars and for Star Trek, because he's the guy you go to reboot old shit.
Until this becomes a colossal failure, and then he is cast aside like so many other directors through the years, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I like the idea of a shining TV show. Rob, have you ever gotten around to Castle Rock?
Yeah. I dig what Castle Rock did.
Yeah.
I love that they take that. I mean, since his stories pretty much happen all in, like 3 locations, really. I love the world they made with Castle Rock, where they introduce those characters and they play with those themes and those stories. I think it's great.
I felt season 2 was a pretty big letdown, but only because I think season 1 is kind of phenomenally good.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I mean, season 2 is okay, but it's not as big of like season 1 of Westworld and season 1 of Castle Rock are both, I think 2 of the best seasons of this kind of TV that we've got. I think Westworld fell further than Castle Rock, but I think maybe Westworld started higher for me. I feel like
I never saw Castle Rock, so
it's pretty good. I mean, even if you're not a huge horror fan, the story's pretty decent. So it's worth checking out at least.
The stuff they do, who's the old grandma lady with dementia in that? The Sissy Spacek?
Yeah.
Her storyline is like next level good in that season 1.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
When you figure out what they're doing with her character, holy cow, man. My jaw was on the ground. So anyway, if they do something with The Shining like they did with Castle Rock, maybe they can pull that off. It's a great setting for a story. You've got this place which we theoretically understand to be the center of badness.
Right.
And we only really know what's going on around a very small number of characters, but we know there's more of them there. There's fun potential there, but it's all going to come down to, can they put good quality writers in it? And
right,
which it's JJ Abrams, and I mean, I'm pretty sure that he had at least one finger in all these Star Trek reboots that we got going on now.
Right. Well, I think really a lot of this is fueled by the success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think for a long, long time, people have been pitching, well, we can do this whole world about this, and studios and television companies were sort of, dragging to actually do this because they weren't sure it would actually make money. To put all your eggs in one basket like that is a big leap of faith. But everyone saw, holy shit, look how much money Marvel made doing this throughout the years. So now everyone is trying to play catch up a little bit and make sure they put out their movies like that, make sure they have a streaming show that encompasses all that. And I think that's where Castle Rock comes in a little bit.
I wonder, with the JJ Abrams deal with HBO, I wonder how much of that deal was like worded to say, you're gonna reboot because we're giving you The Shining, we're giving you some DC stuff, and then also you're gonna get the 2 for me, 1 for you kind of director rule that you sort of hear
Right.
tossed about. Like, I wonder how much of that was explicitly laid out, because there's the other show that like is an original that he's writing. So, you know, does he take the deal, you know, and that's the sweetener that's in the pot that he gets to make the one show that he's passionate about, as long as he hires a staff to do sort of a middle of the road reboot of these other two properties that that the industry thinks that they can make mad bank over because everybody likes you know, watching a new DC Universe show. I don't know. I have hopes, but not high ones.
You got high hopes. No.
But again, the Watchmen was given clearly a lot of creative freedom.
Oh, yeah.
And Doom Patrol was clearly given too much creative freedom, because those shows are just, that was so great, like how weird they let that show get. I can't imagine that they would give the same level of freedom to Justice League Dark.
Yeah. And
Dark.
Doom Patrol.
It sounds so dumb also, but all right.
Doom Patrol was silly weird too.
Yeah.
Where I think you take like Legion, which I think the second season of Legion, if you can get through the first, is phenomenal. And then
Agreed.
the third season of Legion is terrible because it gets like artistic silly and artistic weird, which becomes at that point you're just like you're watching some sort of strange performance.
I have to be honest with you. I thought Legion was. I tried it. I really tried. I tried to make it work, man. I just couldn't. It was Legion. It was so hard to watch, you know.
The
and I was
second season, once you figure out what's happening and who all the characters are, is great. But it is a big investment in some sort of, you know, what the hell is going on television to get to that second season.
I bet.
Legion is a really good example of a TV show. I mean, you know, you got your bucket of parts that you got to throw into your show, and Legion is when the cinematography and the visuals have trumped everything related to narrative. Like, the performance doesn't matter, the narrative doesn't matter. The visuals are they're gonna make you feel things. That's where that show excels. The narrative is just weird.
The sooner you can accept that you are being told a story through the eyes of someone who's schizophrenic, so everything is crazy, and some people who are characters aren't even real, the easier it is to get. But you have to put in that commitment. So
you sure do.
It's a lot for sure. Let's see. Does anybody have anything else interesting we want to talk about today? Hulu was down, so I didn't get to watch the finale of Devs.
Me either.
Hulu was down? That's weird.
Yeah, and it also had season 2, the premiere of What We Do in the Shadows.
That's right.
Yeah, that started too.
I can't wait to see that. That'll be super awesome.
Did you watch all of the first season?
Nope, I only saw the first couple, but I love that show. So good.
There are so many clever ideas. Now, I want to be clear. The movie is fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah.
The show is pretty damn spotty. But when the show hits, it's really good. The energy vampire idea is fantastic.
It's so funny. It's just so darn funny.
Also, they have Wesley Snipes just playing Blade.
Really?
I haven't got that part yet.
Yeah, they have like the Council of Vampires, and it's all like huge stars playing weird vampire characters, and Wesley Snipes. But he's basically just Blade.
And Wesley Snipes.
Yep. Oh, it's great. But that's I'm looking forward to that. Hulu.
Yep. So I won't say it. I won't tell you anything.
All right. I want to watch it. I wanted to, but you know, it's not going to happen. Not until tonight.
Yeah.
Even then, what did we have? We were talking in Discord. We did a whole bunch of. We were on all sorts of stuff in the Discord.
We were.
It was all Luc Besson and
Oh, Luke
Men in
Besson,
Black.
what happened? You know, like he was so good, and then he started coming out with some really not good things. You know, I have a theory, but it's a mean theory. I'm not sure I can share it.
I mean,
But you
Jake,
want to, I
you
can
think
tell.
Jason and Jake are going to care?
No, they're not going to care. I think that Luc Besson's entire movie career is about getting him adjacent to attractive people so he can hang out with them. And like he creates these movies, and they're really just structures to hang supermodels on. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I think that's his entire career distilled down. Like he decides he wants to hang out with Cara Delevingne or whatever and her friends, and he's like, "Hey, let's do a movie." You know?
Totally.
So, very
Although,
French approach to movie
in the
making.
case of Valerian, he did that basically as an obligation to one of his old friends, I guess.
Yeah, but it's a jobs program for out of work models. You know?
The next thing you're going to tell me is that some rock stars are in it for the women, Chris.
No, that's
Are
crazy.
you kidding me?
No way. That's not true at all.
Good time.
All I'm saying is that the tech industry, we chose the wrong industry. There's not a lot of supermodels in the tech industry.
Oh, I don't know. There's plenty of attractive people. It's just there's attractive people everywhere. I just, yeah, I can't see somebody saying, "Well, I guess dating apps are like that. Like, I'm gonna optimize for the super attractive."
I guess that's true. I seem to recall walking through your offices once upon a time and being surprised at the number of attractive women, but I seem to recall that you explained to me once that those are all the marketing people.
Well, that's a little sexist. It's not completely true. I'm gonna get in trouble saying it's not talking now.
Yeah, we're approaching some dangerous territory. Rob Malda, be careful.
Yeah,
that marketing people as a whole are generally more attractive than software engineers on the whole. I don't know that I don't know if this is controversial.
This is one of those things where we really
okay.
need Jeff Bates around because he's moderately attractive and he's the marketing guy, right? So let's blame Bates for this conversation.
That's true.
It's all Bates' fault.
Yeah. Stupid, moderately attractive people. I hate them because they'll always be more attractive than me.
Oh.
Well, moderately more attractive.
Right.
So
that's enough. Let's see. We got I like that the wrestling gets to keep going in Florida. That's cool. They need that.
Yeah, it is. I thought that was great that it was deemed essential.
Well, it's also a non-contact sport, right? So
well known for social distancing. You generally stay a folding chair away from your opponent.
Yeah, well, if you're on the top turnbuckle and someone is on the mat, then you are probably at least 6 feet away. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that it's a little bit old, but when that story came out, I thought this is pure Florida. Thank bless you, Florida. If this is you in a news story.
It's true. Let's see. We got the Mandalorian documentary. We talked about that already.
Hey, Mando. There was something else we were talking about.
Pedro Pascal and the general awesomeness of men who get to wear masks.
Yeah. We should do this with masks.
I mean, since I'm not in the marketing department, I probably could wear a mask and really step up my game.
There's this really funny Stephen Colbert Report Colbert. Sorry, I had to clarify.
You do.
Where he was talking about how the people at Google are hideous trolls. I'll find it. It's very funny.
Good. Let's see. There has been. It's amazing to me that we haven't seen. Like, I still feel like I've seen artistic creativity taking. Like people have not yet been creating cool things driven by the quarantine, except for like TikTok level things. Like if this, maybe it just takes longer. It's like
Yeah, I was like, what are you looking for? Have you seen? There's some museum that put out a challenge to people to recreate famous paintings of stuff around the house, and
Yeah, that's fun.
some of those were actually kind of creative. But like, what are you looking? Do you want someone to have built a time machine while they're at home or something? Like, what level of creativity are you
Right.
looking for?
I guess what I'm looking for is for somebody to like my example with Community and Dan Harmon writing an episode of Community, where the characters are in quarantine, to take like right now what you're seeing is a lot of YouTubers, and they are doing like lesser versions of their normal productions because they can't leave. So like all of your tech YouTubers are like working alone and holding their own cameras and stuff. Like a lot of the production value has slipped way down, and they talk a lot about that. But I haven't seen, short of like taking a glorified selfie. I haven't seen like a big creative, like maybe like John Krasinski's feel good news thing is one of the larger things, maybe in terms of like a creative thing that's like really coming out of all of this. And you know that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
I don't know. I didn't check out his happy news because I don't like happy things.
He's not a happy person.
Yeah.
Maldo. Leave
Can't
him
you
alone.
tell?
Don't beat up on him.
I'm more Eeyore and less poo.
Ew.
Nice.
Gross.
And you look nothing like any sort of Chinese head of state.
That's one of the weirdest things to come out of the modern age, if I may. Isn't it strange that like he's going to be sensitive about that? Yeah, it's weird.
I wonder with that thing
if he really cares,
I wonder with that particular thing, like, so we're all intimately familiar with meme culture and how, things bubble up from the 4chans and the Reddits of the world and then eventually become something big. Now, I imagine the edict from the top is you cannot make fun of great leader. And then you have things from the bottom percolating up, which is, kind of making fun of great leader, but in such a stupid way. Like, does that get all the way to the top and he is in a meeting saying, no, stomp that? Or is it like 6 tiers down through the hierarchy of bureaucracy?
Like how many gatekeepers are there between that and him,
Right. Because like we had people making so much shit up about us over the years. And I mean, I guess we were just like, whatever. But there was essentially like, Rob, you were essentially the only barrier between me and the meanest of people. And like, but like, I assume there's many layers. Does he like, is he personally offended? Like you've seen Trump get like personally offended when people attack him in like cheesy ways, but nobody ever like directly goes after him and is like, why are you orange? Like, that's really weird that the part around your eyes isn't orange, but the rest of your face is. Why do you do it? Like, nobody ever does that to his face, but it happens on the internet. Where's the line between the two? I don't know.
First of all, the line between the two, it's right here next to the eyebrow and under the bag, or right in the middle of the bag.
Right.
That's what the line between the bronzer. Everyone knows why he's orange. It's because he's been dipped like a, I don't know, like a piece of wood that you're staining. He's been dipped in this stuff, It's just this thing. He basically has an outer edge of lacquer. It's probably what's protected him from COVID, actually.
That's what he uses executive time for.
Yeah, right. He's covered every available pore in his body with the exception of his mouth, his eyes, his ears, and his nose, and other places, with bronzer. He's like the woman who died in The Man with the Golden Gun, or Goldfinger.
Yeah.
He's basically dipped in paint. And he wears those little funny, tanning booth eyeglasses when he does it so that it doesn't get in his eyes. Boom. It's no mystery, right? It hasn't been a mystery for a decade.
But it's super weird.
It is weird. It's super weird. The real question is that why he doesn't have COVID? Because he's covered himself in a layer of lacquer. You know.
You want to hear the worst? Here's the worst Trump joke that I heard yesterday, which is, and I won't get the wording right because a professional joke teller would like, really get those words accurate and precise. But it's something to the effect of Trump is delaying the checks to Americans, their COVID stimulus checks, because he wants to put his name on it. And I have no problem with that because it's really nice that so many women will get a check with Trump's name on it without having to sign an NDA first.
That's pretty funny. Very topical.
Very topical. Yes. Let's see. I don't have anything that I care in the slightest about in the news.
I'll find something. I can pull this off.
You can? Because I've been trying, man.
So, yeah, no one cares about Artemis Fowl.
It's on Disney Plus, and I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, right. I heard there's a call-in number called Call & Oates where you call it up and it plays a Hall & Oates song. So that's kind of fun.
Wasn't that on Colbert?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Or no, that was on John Oliver.
It was on one of them. It's freaking wonderful though. Do you guys watch Killing Eve?
No, is that worth watching?
So I have to tell you, the first season is so off the hook good. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And then the second season's okay. So we're on season 3 now. But like Jodie Comer, who plays Villanelle, she's just incredible to watch.
Have you seen Under the Loop?
Under the Tales from the Loop? No, I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
I watched the first episode and it's slow. It's a mood piece in episode 1. It's got a cool sci-fi thing happening. It's not particularly unique or original. It's taking its time. Have you seen Dark?
Dark.
Netflix, German.
No, I haven't. It was in German.
Yeah, no, it's dubbed. You should 100% watch Dark. It's awesome.
Okay, I will. Is that the one where it starts off? They're in like some cabin in the woods.
I don't remember where it starts. It's there's a power reactor and multiple time, like it takes place in 3 time periods. It takes place in present day in the 80s and I think in the 50s. It's really cool, really well acted, really well performed, but it is a little tough because it was filmed in German, so you either have to watch it with subtitles or with dubbed voices, and it's a little. I actually found with that show it was kind of better to have that be one of those shows that you kind of look away a little bit, like maybe have like something that you're kind of like scanning memes or something just to distract you from the voices being not synced up to the mouths, but it's a really cool sci-fi premise, and there is, by the time you get to the end of the first season, there is just some visual masterpiece stuff happening.
Cool. I think I might make time for it. Yes.
Well, I'll try Killing Eve. You tried Dark.
Okay. I mean, I will tell you, Killing Eve gets pretty violent, so I don't want to, hurt you.
I mean, as long as it's not,
Gratuitous.
73 minutes of one human torturing another human in a 42-minute show.
Right.
Okay.
Like if 2 people are punching each other, whatever. If one person is just punching somebody over and over again while they make them feel bad about their emotions, that's a different thing.
Maybe Killing Eve's not for you.
Also, I'm less sensitive.
It's pretty dark, pretty fast, man.
Dark I can deal with. It's physical torture.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So instead, have we talked about this Rogue One spinoff about Cass Andor?
Yeah, we haven't talked about it, but I know it's maybe happening, but it got delayed again, right?
Yeah, they're putting Stellan Skarsgård and this guy Kyle Skoll on it. Tony Gilroy, who co-wrote Rogue One, is set to write the pilot for the series. They're trying to ram it through after the success of Mandalorian.
Which they really need to.
Yeah, that's cool.
They need anything. I have mixed feelings on Rogue One in general. I like parts of it.
Am I in the past? No, this is April 16, 2020. Green Hornet and Kato movie project lands at Universal Pictures. Didn't they try the Green Hornet with Seth Rogen?
With Seth Rogen, yeah.
Are they just pretend like it didn't happen? Sure, okay. Whatever.
It's probably for the best. Wasn't that one like written by Kevin Smith, or it was originally going to be directed by Kevin Smith?
Yeah, it was something like that. But like Feige, someone was involved who's like modern and powerful now. But this is weird. Universal would be a great home for our new Green Hornet and Kato. Ameza is executive producing, quote, Dark Shadows reincarnation for Warner Brothers, and is currently in post-production for this, that, and that.
Ooh, Dark Shadows, though? Oof.
Dark Shadows, Green Hornet. Are they going to bring back the Shadow and the Phantom as well while they're at it? Just like all the Golden Age crappy sort of superheroes who were just radio stars, and then they didn't make them transition to movies.
Well, you know, Chris, all of those characters had popular, just huge blockbuster hit reboots in the 90s.
Yeah, but they didn't. This is the thing. It's like even then, like all the people who were fans are dead. You know. So here's the thing. I grew up in Salt Lake City in the 80s and the 50s, right? So everything was, 30 years behind anyway. And they used to play the Shadow on the radio, the AM radio. On the wireless. I wore an onion on my belt at the time because that was the way. But they would play the Shadow, and they would play these other classic, radio shows on the radio, and it was fun. It was a fun way to go to bed or whatever. And, my parents didn't mind. And it's wholesome, but like the Shadow with Alec Baldwin was terrible. It was a character out of time. It didn't make any sense.
Are any of those characters old enough that they've landed in the public domain? Is that part of it now?
Well, they might have, but I'm sure whoever owns them did whatever screwery they needed to do to get I wanted to use the F word, but I didn't.
Well, that was I admire you for your restraint.
Rated PG-13. Yeah, I mean, this all kind of goes back to like Frankenstein and the Wolfman, like the classic Universal monsters, which are, theoretically different versions of them, like Sherlock being in public domain. And so people always get into weirdness about that. But then, like, it's pretty rare that people do good stuff with most of that. Like, has there been a good Frankenstein movie in a while? Are people clamoring for that?
No, I mean, the last good Frankenstein movie was the young one, and that was it.
The young one.
Abby Normal?
Abby Normal? You idiot!
Yeah, I'm looking forward to another Flash Gordon reboot, huh? It's been how about we do that without a Queen soundtrack and
Savior of the universe,
and the terrible special effects for the Hawkmen.
I would actually, I don't know, like I think you could do it, but you'd have to do it like as a self-referential parody. I mean, I guess you'd kind of have to do it like how they tried to do Green Hornet. They tried to do it a little tongue-in-cheek, and it was stupid. But
I have to say though, okay, I loved the TV Buck Rogers growing up. Like Hawkman was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, me too.
So dumb. That stupid, fighter plane of his with the claws. So dumb. But I still have a warm place in my heart.
And I mean,
as well you should. I mean, Aaron Gray alone.
Aaron Gray, sure.
I probably watched Silver Spoons only for Aaron Gray.
I saw Silver Spoons a couple of times. I just thought it was too dumb. I didn't like it.
I recently tried to rewatch Sequest.
Ooh,
and,
it's hard. It's hard.
I love the idea of it.
I love Roy
but
Scheider.
The special effects they're rough. They're rough.
Whenever you add a dolphin to a show, it's over.
Oh yeah. I had forgotten just how central the dolphin was to some of the episodes, and I'm like,
central.
oh no.
Did they learn nothing from Jonny Mnemonic?
Yeah, exactly right. Jonny Mnemonic was barely tolerable, and then boom, there's the weird dolphin. You know.
All right, folks, we've crossed 30 minutes, and Chris only talked over, our feelings like
I'm
twice.
sorry. What do you mean?
You were too slow. All right, folks. Let's see. This has been episode 442 of Geeks in Space, where three very bored men try to find joy in a joyless universe. I hope that you aren't too disappointed, Jake and Elon.
Hey, never end with an apology. Screw
All
that.
right.
We're here for the same reason we are. We're all damn bored because of this stupid virus.
That's right. Everything cool has been ruined. So I said my name. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda. Thanks to Chris DeBona.
Thank you. No, thank you.
You're thanking Jason, Jake, and Elon. Thanks to Rob Roseboom.
And Laszlo.
Yeah. See you guys.
Maybe something interesting will happen before Monday.
Probably not.
Maybe.
No. Well, something interesting will happen. It just won't be anything that we want to talk about.
I'll just get back to staring at the snow until my next meeting.
Snow. Yeah, so our next meeting is the roll-up. Are we doing a roll-up?